we need to address this. The metaverse. You've definitely heard this word by now. From major companies like Adidas, Disney, Microsoft, and Meta, all the way to angry teenagers over on Twitter claiming that they prefer to live in the real world. Well, the fact is that major adoption is starting to take place, and many people are buying into the metaverse. And I'd love for you to really buy in to smashing that like button. Just go absolutely rapid fire on it. I'll give you a second. Okay, come on, that felt pretty good, right? Even McDonald's joined the metaverse party. They filed trademarks to create virtual restaurants and goods in the metaverse. I think they're calling it the Metaverse. That's actually not a joke. Obviously, big tech companies are starting to adopt this and realize that this is what the future looks like. But that doesn't really help us understand what even is the metaverse. What does the metaverse look like or feel like, or how do you get into it? Is it a video game? Is it a virtual Zoom meeting? What is the metaverse? To be honest with you, nobody has the exact answer quite yet. Think about it this way. Back in the 90s, when the internet was just up and coming and people were using these massive computers with dial-up internet, and the majority of the world had no computer access, especially no internet access, let alone knew how to even turn the thing on. Back then, the people that were in the space, just like you and me are in the space now, also didn't really know the potential of the internet or the ways in which it would be used. I mean, look at where we're at right now. I'm talking to you guys while recording a video in Los Angeles, California, and wherever you are in the world, you can watch this almost instantly after I upload it just because it's on the internet. Well, take the NFT space, Web3, and most specifically the metaverse, and apply that to the internet of the 1990s. And that is where I think we are right now. We don't know what the metaverse is. We don't know exactly how it's going to look or what exactly it's going to be used for. But we do know that this could be absolutely culture-shifting, game-changing in so many ways. The best way to concisely explain what we think the metaverse, and me specifically thinks the metaverse will look like in the future, is really just a virtual world. So think about putting on Oculus virtual reality goggles and going into this virtual space where you can interact with things, you can walk around, and it feels like a real life. It's your second life. Reality is here, but the virtual reality is in here. And that is the easiest way to explain what the metaverse could be like. But breaking down what places you'll visit in the metaverse, what things you'll do, what the money system will look like, what people will go into the metaverse for to do socially and culturally is all open-ended. One of the easiest examples I can give you right now is a game that almost everyone's played. Fortnite. Fortnite is free to play, meaning that anyone can play it. It is worldwide, and it is probably one of, if not the biggest games of our generation. And although at the core, it's a battle royale game where it's a shooter and you try to survive the longest and win different matches and play with friends, you may not be a gamer, but Fortnite has done a lot more than just the game. One example is they've hosted in-game concerts with major artists like Marshmello and Travis Scott. These were also free experiences, and they were taking place in Fortnite's world, this virtual world that people could go into with their character and watch a live performance, a live festival concert from anywhere in the world at the comfort of their own home in this virtual experience. These concerts saw all different kinds of people come together in one place and experience something really cool like a Marshmello concert as a community. It didn't matter what language you spoke, how much money you had, what your social status was, what job you had, how old you are, what you look like. None of that matters. Everyone gets to choose who they are, what they look like, and how they present themselves in this virtual world. But the main factor they all had in common was they were all in the same place at the same time, doing the same thing and enjoying it together. That, in my opinion, is the core piece of this technology that is going to make the metaverse, whether it's just like Fortnite in one of these virtual events or something much larger, so worth it for people like you and me to get involved in early on, aka right now. Companies like Nvidia, Roblox, Microsoft, Meta, and many others to come are already working on infrastructure and setting up environments that they envision the metaverse will be taking place in. Let's take Microsoft, for example, which you may not have heard about. Their vision of the metaverse, and one application of it, is virtual meeting rooms for businesses to hop into a group similar to what we do on Zoom or Skype or Discord right now, where you can video chat and talk to each other. But instead of that, it would actually be all of these companies in a physical meeting room, well, not physical, virtual meeting room, where it feels 3D. You could walk around, you could take your seat at the table, and you're meeting with people from different companies, but in a virtual space as if you were really in a meeting together. Except the benefit here is pretty obvious, right? We don't have to travel across the world to have that meeting with these same people. We can do it over Skype at any time from our own personal locations and have that same experience. You can envision it looking something like this, where you are in a virtual setting with each other and you can talk and speak and see expressions and interact. And at some point, this may even take a step further to become holograms. Think about things like Star Wars, where they have their hologram projections of each other and they can talk and see each other and see facial expressions and movements, mannerisms, all these different things that are really important for human communication. Microsoft is looking at this angle, the business and corporate aspect of the metaverse. Another company that's really diving in is Meta. Obviously, they renamed their whole company, Facebook, to Meta because they that strongly believe in the metaverse as the future. I will say this, whether you love or hate Facebook, Facebook has been right. Facebook has the largest amount of active users of any platform in the entire world. This is Facebook we're talking about here. So if they are betting big on changing their company name to the name of something we're talking about in this video that's so early on, you gotta believe that they have a strong intuition and conviction in the fact that the metaverse is the future. You may have seen Mark Zuckerberg in his Meta explainer video where they showcase that you will be able to, in the future, put yourself in any virtual environment and really feel like you're actually there. Have real social connections with other people in whatever aspect you want. Obviously, Facebook owns Oculus and they have the Oculus Quest, which they are trying to sell items for. So there's definitely a little bit of bias here to sell more product. However, I do believe that even though these clunky VR goggles are becoming more popular, at some point we're going to see contact lenses and eyeglasses and really smaller versions of these big VR goggles be the way that people actually set themselves into these virtual environments and really get in tune with what the metaverse is going to be. I think an extreme example and something that's a bit farther down the line is similar to what we see in this episode of Black Mirror. Within our own contact lenses, you'll have computers that are as powerful as these computers that I'm recording this video on right now that will be able to put you in the metaverse seamlessly and easily. So sorry to interrupt you, us. I want to give some super quick love to the sponsor of today's video, which is FTXUS. FTXUS has quite competitive trading fees. I mean, like actually tied for some of the best in the industry. And they also have an NFT platform that has both Ethereum and Solana NFTs on it. That's already a lot more than other exchanges can say. Having access to NFTs on multiple blockchains all in one place is clutch. You know what's even more clutch though? On FTX, you don't have to pay any trading fees. When you buy or sell your NFTs, no trading fees. As a trader and a collector myself, I can tell you firsthand how much of your profits you can actually lose just on the fees alone, especially on Ethereum. So removing fees from the equation makes it that much easier to flip NFTs for a profit, and who doesn't like keeping that extra money in their pocket? If you want to check out the platform for yourself to make sure all these things I'm talking about are actually true, and trust me, they are, click on this link right up here in the card or the link in the description down below to go check out FTXUS. I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. As I alluded to earlier, I think one of the biggest and most obvious use cases for the metaverse is going to be the ability to game and have currency and commerce ecosystems within the metaverse. For our Fortnite example, people usually buy skins in-game to represent the character that they're playing. If you turned all these in any game ever into NFTs, this would allow the blockchain to verify all those characters, and it would allow you and me, the players of these games, to own those assets and be able to use them in multiple different games or be able to sell them on the open market when we don't use them anymore, as opposed to these major gaming companies owning and making all the profit off of these in-game items. You can look at some games that are already developing out of NFT collections like My Pet Hooligan. They have these little funny rabbits, and these are not cheap. They're about 1 Ethereum each right now, which is the equivalent of about $3,100 as I'm making this video. There is a game being developed around these NFTs. But the crazy thing is that to get into that game, into that metaverse, you actually have to own one of these NFTs, which makes the supply of these NFTs really important. It makes it exclusive and more valuable for each NFT holder, thus possibly explaining why $3,000 for one character skin may actually be worth it. You're buying access to this metaverse, this community, and this game. Let's take it one step further than that. With this specific example, each NFT character earns its own currency in the form of carrots. Players earn carrots while playing the game. So to earn the carrots, you must be able to play the game and to play the game, you must have an NFT character. So now, we pay $3,000 to buy our NFT rabbit. We then get access to play the game as that character that only we own. It's unique to us. And in the game, we can play to earn carrots, which have real world value. The value of carrots is going to fluctuate, and we're not sure what that will be, but over time, these type of things will work themselves out. The overall point here is that this specific metaverse game allows players to earn money while playing the game. This is going to be an absolutely massive feature of a lot of games in Web3 and a lot of metaverse type environments. My Pet Hooligan isn't the only game doing this. There's a lot of play to earn games coming out, the biggest one being Axie Infinity. There are people in other countries making full-time salaries just playing Axie Infinity. And these games, to be honest with you, are not even the best games. Some of these games are actually pretty bad. So what happens when major AAA games like a Fortnite or a Call of Duty get involved in this space and allow NFTs to be part of their ecosystems, allow players to play and earn money while playing those games? It's going to be absolutely massive, not only for the players and the gamers, but also for these companies. There's going to be incentives for both sides. On the flip side, there might be a lot smaller games, mini games, which may exist inside of a bigger metaverse. Think about the Sandbox. The reason it's called the Sandbox is because it's an open-ended platform. It's a giant plot of land. And on each individual parcel of land, users can build games, build communities, build cities, build casinos, build whatever they want, and make it their own sandbox. Let the imagination run wild, let the utility run wild, do whatever you want. We don't know what the landscape's gonna look like, so let's build the platform and let the people decide how it goes. I could see games kind of like My Pet Hooligan, a bit of a smaller game, not a huge studio behind it, put it on the Sandbox and allow people from all over to come to the Sandbox and partake in that one of many games. Another example is Slotty, which I'm actually an advisor on. Slotty is attempting to bring the casinos from the real world into the metaverse. Think about logging onto a virtual world and walking up to a virtual casino. You walk inside, you see the slot machines, you hear the sounds, and you can go up and actually play slots or cards or poker in the virtual world right from your own home. Take that same concept and apply it to anything else. Grocery stores, malls, movie theaters, concerts, whatever you want. The metaverse really is just a virtual expansion of the real world. The only difference is the barrier to entry to the virtual world, the difference of space and difference of financial situations really becomes less of a factor. At some point, anyone will be able to hop on the metaverse, hang out with people from anywhere in the world, connect with different communities, different cultures, different languages, different types of people in any way they please. I know it's still a bit confusing to wrap your head around, but this kind of just scratched the surface on all the possibilities and the landscape behind what the metaverse could be like. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Have a fantastic day. Make sure you like and subscribe. Over 100,000 subscribers now. Truly incredible. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time.